Hey y'all, this is Reno Marsh with Texas Custom Containers. This is a little company my son and I started to try to create affordable housing for people and show people how easy it is to take a 40-foot high cube container, yes, a high cube, not standard, you want a high cube, and turn it into affordable housing. You could build one yourself for about $20,000 with a container included. We spent $25,000 on our first one. We're general contractors, we build commercial buildings. So I hired actually my licensed plumber, licensed electrician. So I paid a couple bucks more to have that done professionally. I put 100 amp service in the building. I used a 2-ton split system, which cost $2,000. It's a generic one. It's just like the Mitsubishi's, but it's an off-brand for air conditioning and heating. And we buy our containers from from Container King out of Sanger, Texas. And it costs about $3,000 for the container. And then by the time you buy wood, frame it, spray foam it, add appliances, yada yada, you're at about $25,000. I've seen people build these where you can reclaim wood. They make the showers cheaper. I bought a drop-in shower unit. I'm gonna do a quick little walkthrough with the unit and show you, but I'm gonna turn the video around. I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a view and show you what the containers look like when we first get them. I've got another one back here that I'm gonna finish out, but let me swap the video around. And as you can see, we've got the container. I built an 8 by 56 foot deck that's 8 feet wide, 48 feet long, and then the additional 8 feet going the other direction. So we're gonna put a patio cover up here as well. So that makes the space a lot roomier. And you can see there's where another container is, and that's what it looks like when they first come in. There's going to have some dents and dings and some repairs and patches on them. The main thing is you want to get a container that has a solid floor. You don't want to have to replace the floor. That marine grade plywood is really, really strong and sturdy. It's expensive. Also, you want one that is wind and water tight to where it doesn't leak. I also suggest I power wash these before I paint them. So test it to make sure it doesn't leak anywhere before you start framing it in and finishing these things out. You can see now the deck is not included in the $25,000 cost that I have. I spend about $25,000 on these things. I sell them for $35,000. The deck cost me, with wood prices right now, this is about $4,000 in decking material and labor. My framers and guys, they cost me 20-25 bucks an hour. So when you walk inside the shipping container, I use waterproof flooring that has that vinyl backing on there. So if you're ever in a situation where it's a honey cabinet, floods or gets wet, the stuff won't ruin. You can actually pull it up, wipe it off, put it back down. I use butcher block for the countertop. That way it's functional space. Or you can get a sink that has a slider cutting board in there. Those are really nice. I left this open. I was going to put some shelving in here. I put one cabinet up above, microwave, which is a vent as well. I put a full-size range in this instead of going with a mini stuff. That way you can cook a full turkey. My objective is to have it as a complete living space. Let me zoom out a little bit. I used a full-size fridge. It's a smaller full-size, so it's not humongous. You can get a bigger one in here. There's where I put the split system up above there. And like I said, that's a 2-ton. Then get a 1.5, a 2, 2.5. 1.5 ton is more than sufficient. And you can get a lot of these generic brands. This is an Atrium brand, so it's a 16 SEER. Since you don't have ductwork, these things are extremely efficient. I use beadboard for my walls, little trim on the bottom. I used a wood grain paneling up above. And of course I spray foamed. I put a plug up high so you can put your TV mount here. I put a slider door on the end where the doors are, which allows you to open and close. And then I framed it in and recessed it. So if you use this as a hunting cabin or something, you can actually close the doors and lock it. When you build the deck, you can build it right above the safety cleats or the lock cleats right there, and it still allows you to close the door. You will have to take the handles off when you build the deck on this end. If you don't build a deck on this end, you can leave the handles on there and lock it up. And I think I just put standard 3030 windows in here. I put 2 in the front, a 2030 above the sink in here. I'll probably add a little bit bigger windows next time I do one, maybe a 3050. And then I'm waiting for the electric company to put my meter in here, but I've tested everything. And there I put another plug up above. This is the bedroom. So it's 8 by 11. And on this one, since I set this on blocked, you got to have enough fall for the shower and the plumbing. So I stepped up. I used 2 by 10s as my subfloor. And of course, I don't have very good light in here. I bought a complete shower enclosure unit. Everything I bought was from Home Depot. I actually stubbed this out for washer and dryer. So you put a full-size washer and dryer in here, or we can put a clothes rack and a shelf in here for clothing if you don't want to put a washer and dryer. So this is flex space right in here. And then full-size elongated toilet, vanity, mirror. And here I'm using an endless hot water heater, and I'm doing an electric one on this one versus gas. I want to see how the electric works. If it doesn't work, I can convert it to gas, put a tank outside, or even possibly just put a tank itself in here. But I'd probably just switch over to a propane endless. But these electric ones have come a long way. It's got a good rating. That's a Black & Decker, and that's a 36 kW. So I had to do 2 double pole 30 amp breakers for that thing. I mentioned that in one of my previous videos where I'm walking through showing you how to frame it out and the different stages of it. But there's no reason why someone can't finish one of these out as a primary residence. It's a great starter home. These things make a great opportunity for someone who has a benevolent heart that would like to build some of these, put them on a piece of land for affordable housing. You know, there's no reason why we can't help solve some of our housing crisis in America when you can build something that's affordable, comfortable, safe for under $30,000. So I know the cost of construction is going up, but you know, you can easily do this. And then, and of course, I did a couple of parking spaces here. I've got 5 acres of land. I've got another one going in there. I'm putting another one over there. So they don't take up much space, and it's extremely comfortable, a little bit safer feeling than an RV. And you can move them. You know, all I have to do is just disconnect it there and put it on a trailer and move it to another location. It's not something you hook up to a truck and tow away, but these can be moved. I use these for construction offices on my job sites all the time. So I built another one for myself as a construction office where I took 15 feet with the doors and that storage on that end, and then 25 feet is my office. Anyways, back around. If you have any questions, I've got a spreadsheet with all the materials, the amount of studs. Use, you know, standard 92 5/8 inch studs, bottom plate, top plates, frame it in just like you would a regular house. Run your MEP stuff, run your plumbing, electrical, wire it up, spray foam it, put your paneling on there, paint it, you're good to go. Pretty simple process, you know. So if even a novice person who doesn't understand construction, you can walk your way through this. Literally, you could build one of these out if you had no experience and just watch enough YouTube videos, asked a few questions. You can finish these things out in less than 30 days. I did one in 10. So that shows you, and I could probably do one quicker than that if I really wanted to, but we had some rain delays when we were doing it. We're just trying to knock it out just to show how quick we could build one. I just wanted to see, in case I did a community, how quick I could build these things, how many I could build per week, per month kind of thing if I did them as an assembly line. But anyways, that kind of gives you an overview. Feel free to like the video and email if you got any questions. Thanks, y'all.